talk about artificial intelligence in business, and I hope you can work in the props and have a little fun with that, Watson. So I'm gonna let you.
I just want to introduce Winston. He
Winston.
is Winston. Yes.
Yeah, I said Watson. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Carl.
It's like IBM, you know, that it's Watson.
Yeah, it's Watson.
And so this is not on the. I'm going to set these here real quick. That was really cute. That was so cute. Okay, I want to introduce Winston Gasch, and he started coming to Talk Shop about a year ago, I think. And I looked him up. I'm like, who is this guy? I started looking him up on Google, and wow, you're quite accomplished. You won an award with Rhodes College, right? Raising funds for some great stuff, and he's got a wide breadth of knowledge about how to use technology, especially with harnessing your calls that come in. He's doing really well with that. But he's also got a wide knowledge of artificial intelligence tools, and it can be overwhelming because everybody's different. My stack that I use for artificial intelligence and mortgage is going to be different than what Lynn uses. It's going to be different than what Tiffany uses. So today, I am so excited to introduce you to someone that I have full confidence in him. It's Winston Gasch with Optim Solutions. Winston.
Thank you very much. This is my coworker Rob. We're going to be presenting today on how we can use AI in a simple and safe way for your business. Every business is different. You want me to speak up?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Every business is different, and we're going to go through best practices, how to figure out what you can use AI to solve in your business. All right, so how many people in this room missed a phone call last week? Everybody missed a phone call. I missed multiple phone calls. Were you able to call them back within 5 minutes every single time? I would assume not, and I'm not trying to accuse y'all of anything, but everybody has that gap in their lives. Everybody has that problem. And AI is one of the tools that can be used to fill that gap. Let's go to our next slide here. So what is AI? AI is, in plain English, artificial intelligence. It's trying to replicate human behavior and human repetitive tasks to, emulate what a human could do for your business. Rob, why don't you tell us about how AI can help businesses right now?
So the three things that we need to focus on when we talk about AI, and this is kind of how we're going to go throughout the entire presentation, but we need to know that AI is simple. We need to know how to get a return from AI, so how to actually use it to make money. And we need to know how to be safe when we're using AI, because if you're not being safe, then you can get yourself into not just legal trouble, but also there's a lot of people who are using AI out there to do bad.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful.
Want to be very careful with where you put your data into AI. AI data is not always private to you. It can be distributed. Anything that you put into a chat should not be private information. It should not be financial data on a customer. It should not be banking information. Nothing of that sort should be put into AI ever, under any circumstances. But the benefits outweigh the risks when using AI. And if you know how to navigate the risks of AI, you can use it to great gain for your business. Get the light off.
A little blurry.
For it. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, the way you should look at AI is just like a well-read new hire. So it's like hiring another employee, but not at the cost of another employee. But the only thing with it comes is that you got to train it, and you have to prepare it just like you would any other employee before you put them on the job.
If you hired a kid out of college, would you expect them to just jump into your business and know it in a week? Nobody would expect that to happen. And if someone can do that, then you're probably not in a business that's very, it's going to be something that you've taken a long time to learn. So a lot of people get frustrated. They use AI for the first time, and they're like, well, it doesn't know what I want it to do. It doesn't work the way I need it. But people need to think about AI as more of a skill that you need to train over time. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that and how the different tools can be used to kind of grow their knowledge base. And eventually you can have a new hire that does a large portion of your repetitive tasks that you trained over months, and you're not paying them like a real person. So it's significantly cheaper for your business, and you can improve your efficiency without increasing overhead fees.
So these are the three main things that AI can do for your business. Back one slide.
The arrow keys aren't working right now?
Yes. Okay. All right, here we go.
There we go. Yeah, so AI can answer phone calls, texts, website chats every time, 24/7. It can write, so it can create emails. It can write up automatic quotes for you. It can even reply to reviews. It can basically write anything that you would need it to, and then it can follow up. So what we wholeheartedly believe is that, for any business to be successful, you have to follow up with customers every single day as often as possible, and AI makes that very easy to do, because even if you slip up, if you forget to reach out to a customer, like maybe the third or fourth time, because oftentimes it's going to be that third or fourth time until they start responding to you. AI can go in and it can do that for you, and then once they reply, then you can step in, and then you can take over. So these are, when you think of AI, these are the three exact things you want to think of, and we'll dive more into how you actually can build out AI systems in your business, depending on your exact niche, to do one of these three things.
I bet nearly every single one of you has had somebody call you who you were not able to reach back out to instantly, and then you never got back up in touch with that person. So being able to have that backstop, we like to think of AI as, this is our kind of catchphrase, I guess, as a supplement, not a substitute to your business and people interacting with you as the business owner. Everything in business is personal, right? People want that personal touch. People want to be calling up Joe Garner and Joe Garner answers the phone. But if it's something that Joe Garner's AI assistant could answer, and Joe Garner's not available, it's a lot better to have what they think is someone picking up the phone than going to Joe Garner's voicemail. Your conversion rate when someone picks up the phone is 4 times higher than when somebody goes to voicemail. All right, let's talk about the 15-minute rule. If you've got a task that you do every single day, it's repetitive. Maybe you wake up every morning, you have to read this report and summarize it, or read a document, or send a few repetitive emails every morning, send out a report at the end of the week. There's a million things. If it's going to take you longer than 15 minutes, you should think about, how can I improve this task and make the repetitive parts of this task happen automatically? How can it go through my email folder and summarize the emails that I got from this person this week and compile them into a list that I send out to all my employees? How can it read this document that I get sent to by the government or by the regulatory body and put that into a summary that's sent out to all my employees? How can I use this? If it's going to take you longer than 15 minutes, it's probably best to take 15 minutes and think about how you could save 15 minutes for the rest of your life.
Because once you set it up once in that 15 minutes, then every day afterward, or the next time you have to do the task, then it'll only take 5 seconds.
Yeah, so if something takes you 15 minutes a day, and you have to spend an hour or two one day solving that issue one time. You're paying your time back in under a week, you know. So if you think about it, a lot of times people want to push things off and wait to figure out how to automate tasks that are very repetitive in their business. But a lot of times it's good to take that time on the weekend or take that time after work to figure these things out.
All right, and so this is just an example of like, you know, what you can actually type into these like ChatGPT and Claude and all these AI models. So you could, for example, tell it to write up a friendly reply to this 3-star review of my HVAC company. Apologize for the wait and offer to make it right. And then a couple seconds later, AI could go ahead and, you know, completely write it out for you. So this is just a very simple example of what AI can do for you. Like if we wanted to take this a step further, then we could set it up to where AI automatically does this without us even having to type into it. And that's like the second layer on top of it. So when we think of using AI, we gotta think of it in steps. And we'll get to this in another side as well. We call it, you gotta crawl, and then you gotta walk, and then you gotta run. Because you obviously can't run until you start at least crawling first. So, you know, start off by just every single day, taking 10, 15 minutes to see how you can, you know, start experimenting with AI, even if it's just typing a simple response like this. And then once you see that starts being helpful for you, then you can take that a step further by setting up systems that run without you having to do anything in the background. And then once that's set up, then you can take that another step further, and you can figure out other ways and other things in your business that you can automate with AI. So that's just it's kind of building blocks that build on top of one another.
You know, one of the things that AI is really good at is teaching you. It's ironic. It's teaching you how to use AI. The robot wants to teach you how to utilize it more, right? So it can take over the world. I'm just joking. But yeah, so if you ask AI, I have this repetitive task. I'm going to describe it to the AI. How can I improve this and make it easier for me on a weekly basis? And AI will give you very, very good advice on how to improve that. And it'll walk you through. It'll say, well, I'm stuck on this step. You can talk to AI. Well, how do I set that system up in my email inbox? How do I do this? How do I do that? AI is very good at helping you build itself. All right, next slide. Where is the money being captured right now in AI? AI is, to some extent, in its infancy. Obviously, there's really, really incredible things that it's doing already in healthcare, in aerospace, in biomedical. I mean, there's so many things where AI is being used to solve revolutionary things. I saw the other day, AI solved a math equation that people thought was impossible to solve. And AI did it in 30 minutes, running one on one computer. So it's crazy the ways that AI is moving right now, but it is also still in its infancy when it comes to commercial use. But right now, the fastest ways to get value out of AI is to set it up as a backstop. Leads that are coming in are always automatically contacted, whether that's being a phone number that phone number is answered by the AI, or just a simple AI text back to that customer. Hey, I'm sorry I missed your call. I'm busy right now, but what can I help you with? The AI can answer the vast majority of the frequently asked questions that a customer might be calling you about. Number 2 is follow-up. The biggest cost, and you may know this as a CPA, the biggest cost in a business, people think it's labor, people think it's part materials. It's churn. It is always churn. It's always the people that you lose, the people that you don't get. And they don't show up on the balance sheet. They don't show up on the income statement because, you can't
It's
report
easier to
that.
maintain a client than to have to go find it.
Exactly. So making sure that you can set up who's forgotten to follow up with somebody this week? I've forgotten to follow up with 2 people this week, and it bit me in the butt once. But that's why we're setting up systems in place to make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. Everybody is followed up with. Reminder texts are automatically being sent out. Hey, our meeting on July 17th is scheduled for 9:30, and it sends out reminder texts. And you can set up all of these systems that only take a little bit of time to set up one time, and they work forever. And then the biggest gold mine for most businesses that they don't realize is their customer list, who they are not recontacting. If you're a HVAC company, maybe it's people who got service 2 years ago, or you install a system for them. You can have these automatic reminders and these little chats that look like a robot, and it is a robot. But why don't you add that personal touch to it, where the robot is sending it out on your behalf? Hey, this is Luke. Just checking in to see if you have any issues with your system. A more personal touch is like way more likely to get someone to respond back to you. And then, yeah, customers are really easy, like you said, to keep. Really, really easy to keep, but they're very hard to win over the first time. And if you can continue to contact people who you're already working with and get them to purchase more, a customer you get for $50, and then you have them buy twice, you essentially got them for $25,
So when we bring up the database reactivation, because, let's say, for example, you got a past client list of like 3,000-4,000 people. It's going to be impossible for you to reach out to all of them by yourself. So, why not have AI make that first point of contact, whether it be through a text message, an email, or a phone call, or anything like that, and then as soon as they pick up or respond, then it sends them to you, and then you can take over from there.
All right. This is a lot of issues that one of the biggest issues that we face with home service businesses is speed to lead. When somebody calls in and you don't answer the phone, who are they going to call? They're going to call that next person on the list when they search plumbers near me, or HVAC near me, or CPAs near me. They're gonna call the next person on the list. And if you're not able to answer the phone, it doesn't matter how good your marketing or your public image or anything is. If you're not answering the phone, they're going to the next person. Real estate too. If you don't answer the phone, they're going to the next person or calling somebody else. So that's the biggest loss that doesn't show up, and that's what we can help you solve that.
And that's why we're emphasizing it so much, because so many people think that they have a marketing problem, which, by all means you could, but you got to start at the base first. If you're not answering every lead, answering every call within 5 minutes, if you're not responding to every form submission under 5 minutes, then you're losing money on the table right there. So why not just start there, and then once that's taken care of, then you have all those systems in place, then we can look at marketing in the future to try and get you more clients. But you always got to start by how fast you're getting to the leads and how quickly you're getting your customers taken care of.
Yeah, you don't want to be like trying to drain your sink with a colander, or like, because you could just try and try and try, and if there's just so much falling through, you're just kind of pointlessly just wasting time.
So this slide is just about how important follow-up is. A lot of people don't realize that typically it takes that third, that fifth, or even that 8th point of contact with a customer in order to get their business. And it's especially hard with most of y'all here, because a lot of y'all are business owners, and so you don't have as much time as you'd like to personally reach out to everybody the 3rd, 5th, or even the 8th time. And so that's where AI comes into the game plan, because it can make those contacts for you. So let's say, for example, let's say you called or Lucy called in to get an HVAC system replacement, and she wasn't sold on it completely yet, but she knows that you're the guy, but she's just waiting a little bit.
let me talk to my spouse, right? That thing, or that I need to talk to somebody first, right? You need to put them into a list of people that are warm leads, and send out these contacts to them. And they don't have to be marketing content. They don't have to be marketing emails or texts. They can be, hey, check out this blog post I just made, or hey, look at this article that I found in the news that relates to your situation. Look at the mortgage rates right now. It's a great time to buy. Just hinting. I'm not trying to sell you though.
But look at this before and after photo of this new deck that I built.
Yeah. Look at these drone shots that I just took down the street from your house. These are things that you can just automate, and you can get people.
And they can apply to any industry.
That's fine. Are we allowed to ask questions?
Pardon me?
Are we allowed to
Yeah,
ask
100%.
questions?
I encourage it. Yeah.
I just want to confirm what they're saying is true. Is the dental practice that we double the business spends $0 on marketing, and it is exactly what he was talking about. It was the power of AI, follow up, documentation. The biggest value you have is your client list right now. You can probably in the next 90 days increase your business by 15 to 20% by reaching back to your own client list. So I have doubled that business revenue. Actually, we are like 7, 8%, 6% above budget based on that. So these guys, they're on something. This works.
Thank you. All right, well, we'll give this a call real quick. But Rob, why don't you tell us a little bit about this and who we built this for?
Yeah, so this is actually our personal AI receptionist that we use for our own business to, answer any missed calls that we're not able to take, and we basically sell what we have and what we use ourselves. And Winston's calling it right now, and you'll hear a little bit about the quality of what it sounds like. So that AI, you can get a feel for how advanced AI is.
Thank you for calling Conway Services.
Oh, that's not the right answer.
Sales presentation.
Oh, I typed in wrong. 437-8886.
All right, you have me worried for a second there. You have me worried.
Conway's pretty good though.
They need an AI answering machine. Hey, Kate, I own a plumbing company.
Nice to meet you. How are calls getting answered right now when you're out on a job or with a customer?
Well, I try and answer every call, but when I'm in my truck and I'm driving, I answer. But when I'm out in the field, I just don't have time a lot of times.
When those calls hit voicemail, what would you guess happens most? Do they wait for you or just ring the next plumber on Google?
I would assume they ring the next plumber. They probably don't wait for me to call them back.
That's what we see everywhere, and it's exactly what this fixes. Right now, when you miss a call, are we talking just you in the field, or do you have anyone in an office?
So you can see how if you can create someone that is able to emulate a person answering the phone for you and give it your sales brain, your sales knowledge, how much it would help you. I mean, she was trying to sell me on it, So these AIs, they're really good. And if y'all want to call this after the meeting, we'll go ahead and put it on the screen at the end. You can give it a try. And it can tell you you just talk to it, and it can tell you how your business could be used if we help your business. Next slide, please. All right, this is the scary part of AI. Let's talk about it because it's very important. So many emails, so many text messages, so many phone calls nowadays are AI generated, and we need to be careful very careful about responding to these people. I don't know how many of you guys have seen it, but my father got a call a few months ago, and it was a voice saying, "Help me." And I don't know. He said it sounded like me, and so he freaked out. And it's like a ransom call, right? It's like a kidnapping ransom call. So y'all got to be very careful about using. There's people who use AI for malicious activities, and just think first. It's more than likely an AI call. Always call your people, text your people. Hey, are you trying to log into my bank account? Or hey, are you trying to get into my credit card information? They're probably not trying to do that. So just double check with your people, call your bank, speak with your attorney, speak with your accountant, whoever, whatever they're trying to access, just double check, make sure that you're safe. And don't ever put anything, any client information, any of your information, any bank information, ever put that into AI. Never keep it in there because people can access it through kind of backdoor channels. It's really complicated, but they can get access to it because AI feeds the larger model. All the inputs of AI from every person in the world feeds the model. Sometimes the model will spit out information from somebody else that put it in here and it came out here. And so you got to be careful with that stuff. The other few things. Oh yeah, voice cloning. That's very scary. I think it's probably the scariest AI tool that's out there right now is the voice cloning of people. So just be very careful about that. And if you answer these phone calls, don't talk to them for a long period of time. You think they're AI because they can clone your voice by a 30-second clip.
Just make sure whenever you're using AI that you tell it as much information about your business as possible because AI only works if it has context. So if it doesn't understand your business, when you operate, exactly what you do, then it's not going to be able to give you the best answer to help solve your problem.
Next one, please. Yes.
So that's kind of contradictory. One part is saying put it into AI,
Yes.
and another is saying watch
It is
out. So it would. What I'm thinking is, if you're going to put confidential information in the AI, it should not be the free version.
No, there's a safe way to go about doing it. So what we do is we have files stored on our computer, and then we basically use Claude primarily, but then Claude can look at the files that are on our computer and then it can take that info and it can use it to get context about our business. That's a lot different than me just plugging in all the information about my business directly into a Claude chat.
It's like if you've got like a private journal, you don't want to put it in the public library database online.
Yeah.
If you want somebody to look at your journal, say, come to my house and you can read it while you're here, but you can't take it back with you.
Yeah.
So you want to compartmentalize things that are important in your business. And we can talk to people about that. I would just say generally stay away from it. It's also to a point where even if it says it's safe, sometimes it's not completely safe. So we don't have our AIs do anything with payment information or any healthcare stuff right now. That's too regulated. Yes, sir.
I know from stuff that I do that involves photographs and such that sometimes AI generated or altered, that they have to put a disclaimer on that.
Yes, sir.
AI generated. Do you think there might come a point sometime where
$100%.
legitimately you're going to have to say, okay, this voice is AI generated?
There will definitely come a time when the regulation catches up with that, but right now it's not there.
But right now, we just always set it up to where, like, if the customer asks and our AI receptionist is 100%.
We're not deceiving the customer. We're just not, what is it, a white lie or not the whole truth?
Just let them know what it is.
But at the same time, would you want to talk to an AI on the phone? I get pissed off when an AI answers, and I can tell it's an AI.
But I would think that if you know it's legitimate and you know what it's doing, then you feel more comfortable about it.
Yes.
If I pick up the phone, call this and say, this voice you hear is AI generated, I would know right off the bat that it's AI generated.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I am constantly getting calls, and I'm sure everybody is, where, you answer and they go, hello. Sometimes I don't even say anything when I first answer because like yesterday, I got a dozen of those before noon. Is there any way to stop them? I mean, you can tell from the voice, it's always the same voice.
Yeah, so you're probably on some database. And unfortunately, because you're a realtor, it's hard to not answer the phone. You don't know if it's real or not.
Yeah.
But you can use call screening, which is a tool that most providers have right now, and says, hey, this is, would you record your name and what reason for calling, and we'll put you through. And so that will help. The call centers don't have time for that. A lot of times they just take you off the list because they don't want to deal with that every time. And also they use what's called a dialer system. So they'll dial 5 numbers at once, and whoever picks up first, they'll hang up on the other 4 and talk to that person. And so if you have that screening technology where it doesn't even ring your phone unless they record the message, it's never going to go past, like you're never going to be the person that answers. The person, they ring 4 people, they ring 5 people, one person answers, they hang them up on the rest. Well, if that screening technology is just going to cut off, like the dialer doesn't do that. So to answer your question, there are tools that we can have to set that up. It doesn't eliminate it though.
I did just want to say, I've been taking some classes the last 2 years, and of course it's always changing, but what he said earlier about how AI itself will train you how to use it. I have some repetitive tasks that I do each week. So one of them is certain, not all of my posts, but certain posts I'm going to do every week. So I went in and asked it I went into ChatGPT specifically, and I said, how do I train and set up an AI agent that will post repetitive posts that I do each week? And I needed to go to a particular location and get this information, and over here and get this information and put it together and post it. And it told me step by step, and it told me you got to use buffer and you've got to use this. And it told me the rules and step by step how to do it. So I started setting it up last night. I'm like, wow. And if I had a question, just like you said, I just went into my ChatGPT, that particular chat, that same chat. And I said, hey, I'm stumped. How do I do this? I'm not understanding. And it told me how exactly to get to do that one thing. So I'm like, wow, this is like somebody standing over my shoulder that knows what they're doing and saying, click that first and then do this. And I'm like, thank you. And I'm like, wow, this is going to take a lot of time off my plate that I just have to hit a button and it goes and does all this stuff for me, and I can be on the phone with a client.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that I would add, if I may, on the paid version of AI, and I do this, we use AI, just Joe was saying, extensive. And it's like my project manager, my CFO, but you have to train it, right, in multiple different ways. Mm-hmm. I do use Claude as my preferred. I have access to all of the other ones paid, but every time I go there, the first thing I do is I go to the advanced settings and I click everything off in terms of sharing my information to train the model. Mm-hmm. Don't do that. Right. The other thing for Claude, what he's saying is connected to my machine and it's connected to the protections with Microsoft. Microsoft has done a great job in creating protections in that regard. So it's connected to my Office 365. And then with every task I have, I create that context in those documents that are attached to that particular task that I have. So multiple ways for you to use it, but that would be my, these guys are on something. Good job, guys.
I'm awake.
Well, this is our AI caller, but you can call me at that's
that's my personal number. If y'all call that number, then
Can't do it.
okay. Let's turn
we gotta turn the light back. Can you see it better now?
Yeah, we should make that bigger. 901-640-2283.
Thank you guys so much for coming. And he's gonna hang out about 10:15 for our sponsors and our regular volunteers. Andre, I know you have to go, but you're invited, and of course Carlin, and is there any others that are regular, our sponsors? Please stay. We're gonna drill in a little bit with our particular companies. Next week, we have the famous Ron Childers from WMC-TV. He's the chief meteorologist. We're going to be meeting here in this room and bring people with you. He's going to talk about how to prepare for a disaster. Really quick way to pack a bag, what to put in it, where to put it, how to plan. He's terrific. So please come to that. And the following week, the 19th, we're going to have our health talk.